Hey guys, hey, I thought I'd come back and get on here even though, yeah, I am feeling that same way again. Like, yeah, it's kind of funny, like that interference. But I just like breathe through it and, yeah, expand into it, expand loved into it. And, yeah, yeah, it's really important to show up right now, I feel like. And it's really important to use our own voices and be authentic because, yeah, that's kind of like, it is like, it's our voices and our spirits and like our authenticity, like in the freedom, our sovereignty, you know, as free spirits, that's like really under attack, like that's what's being usurped really. And like how it's been usurped is through repression, oppression, and suppression. And so the remedy for that is self-expression. And that's what, like, summer is all about too. And the sun's energies, it's all about expression. And the sun is connected to everything and like gives life and shares its light with everything. And that's like little reflections of who we really are. We're like little suns, like, and it's kind of funny like to look at it that way, in different ways, like daughters and sons, and yeah, little we all have like that's what our heart, like the heart doubles as a symbol for the sun, the inner sun, and the inner flame, and the inner hearth, and the inner home, and yeah, for the inner plane. And so, like, yeah, if we can bring that light forth and shine that light forth and bring forth that which is in us, that which is in us will save us. That is what replenishes our life force, what we can bring forth within us. Yeah, that replenishes and that like sustains and that like honors our life force, because that's our lives, that's our life expression. We're the expressions of life, we're the expressions of God, we're living expressions of the one. And so, like, when we don't express ourselves, or when we suppress or repress or oppress ourselves, like that energy is misdirected, it's inverted, and like it's hijacked from us. And then like our whole perception of reality is inverted as well. Like, too, things get yeah, turned around, where we think up is down and down is up, and that is what we're living now. And so like it's time to reorient and like, yeah, write it all now, you know turn it all right side up now, like, and it's all together and it's all one. So we've been seeing structures and seeing ourselves like, yeah, totally upside down, because we live in an upside down world. And so like, yeah, I've just been contemplating a lot of things, like when we put ourselves or each other on a pedestal, we're not really raising ourselves up, we're putting ourselves in the ground. Yeah, because it is upside down. We're like really burying ourselves and putting ourselves in a black hole. And it's because it's not accessible anymore. Like the love isn't accessible. And so like if we can look at, maybe take a look at some of that kind of stuff, like how up has been down and down has been up. And then that, the archetype of the hangman in the tarot, that's like been a huge one for me lately, because it does help us ground and like turn it around, like through suspension and through surrendering. Because like once we do get hooked into some of these programs and kind of run by them or activate, like, yeah, this control mechanism, like we're really not sometimes in control, like, of our own thoughts, feelings, actions anymore, unless we're paying more attention. We can see, like, yeah. And so like, yeah, just to get clear here, let's get clear here. Like that would help to be here and to hear. So like, and I like wordplay and I speak in metaphor, and like sometimes the divine wisdom comes through like in just these little silly, fun, simple ways that seem like so really just, I mean, if you didn't look at them in certain ways, you may not see the value of them. But like, if you look deeper into them, it's just so amazing and profound, like what little gems like there are in these words. Yeah, from the crown, that come through the crown. So yeah, I speak in a lot of rhymes and a lot of riddles and a lot of metaphors, and just because like that's just how I am built to operate, like as an artesian, where I have several portals of consciousness open at once, like where I'm getting so much information. And sometimes that was like what was so overwhelming to me when I was younger, as I would be taking it all in and I didn't know how to filter it or what to do with it, and I took it all personally, and I didn't know how to shield myself from how certain things felt from certain people. And yeah, and that kind of like developed and formed my own survival strategies, like with being the people pleaser and the mediator and the observer, watching people to like kind of see how I fit in or to see if I was safe. And so like I learned to observe a lot of things. And so and like all of those things like that I got to like kind of use for survival strategies, like yeah, maybe they were like gifts in certain ways that I get to also like use to return to myself. Yeah, like it's kind of funny, like the things that we use to protect ourselves because we couldn't be ourselves, and then like creating a false self. Like maybe that's like seeing those things that we built or we created, to be someone else. We get to use those same things from the false self, like to return to our true self, if that makes sense. And so maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, but like, yeah, maybe it'll percolate. And so, yeah, this soul collage card in a way is like the Hanged Man. Like it's a little sloth hanging upside down on his little trapeze swing, and then a mother whale and a baby whale swimming in the sea. And so really like what that says to me is that, yeah, when swimming through the sea of the unconscious and like the unknown and everything, like, yeah, bring in your own mother and know that all is held, all is held. And so like you are your own mother, and yeah, you're held in the well, and like be there for your own child and for all of yourself. And like to the child it says, yeah, be well, you are held, all is well, I'm always here. Like, yeah, all is held, all of you is held, we're together. Yeah. And so like, yeah, that is like kind of like comfort and connection, and knowing that it's okay to let go because it's all connected and it's all held. And so like, yeah, so to kind of just let go and to see it from another perspective, and kind of like, since he's up above that too, he's like, yeah, higher perspective through turning it around, hanging upside down. So it's in suspension to see, yeah, what we haven't seen, or to allow what we haven't been able to allow, or to get it, it's just to birth a new perspective, or to like surrender all of it, to clear the perception, clear the perspective, and clear, yeah, the interference. And so, yeah, that's like, I realized that I hadn't been exactly clear on my intention. Like I kind of felt like, yeah, I know what my intentions are, but like going into certain things, like where I chose to comment on this post, I wasn't really clear about my intentions going into it, and I realized that later, like, oh, and it was like exactly what I needed to see, like about certain things, like because it's helping me like know that like this, if you want a clear reception and you want a clear perception, be clear on your intention. And it was just like it clicked into place, like seeing that, like, oh, so I wasn't clear on my intention, so I couldn't see clearly, and I didn't reflect what I was trying to express clearly either. And so like, yeah, that was huge in a lot of ways. And so, yeah, which wow. And so like one of the things that I was just contemplating about was like how we make certain characters or archetypes